Right then, I know, I was supposed to be doing the forks on the V65, but I've got a few days off work and this is going to be a bit more involved, but I need to do the clutch on this one. And being as I've already bought all of the bits I need, gasket, set of clutch springs, some clutch plates, figured I might get on with this one, so I'm not going to time lapse it. We're going to get this brake pedal off, get this foot peg off, and then undo all of these little bolts here, pop that off. Now, going to get a lot of oil out of this, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to put it on its side stand so that it leans over that way, and I'm not going to drain the oil. I'm just going to take this cover off, let whatever drips out drip out, because I think it's fresh oil in this one. We'll have a look when it comes out, and if it's fresh oil I'll just put it back in afterwards, but we'll have a look. So yeah, that's planned for today. I think what I'll do is I'll come back when I've got this off, maybe as I'm taking that off, because these can be a bit on the sticky side. But before I do anything, I'm going to go grab the gasket I've got and just make sure the gasket is correct. Just hold it up there and make sure the holes line up and stuff. I've been sent wrong gaskets before, so let's do that. Okay, so we got a little bit closer. That oil looks a little dark, but it's not. It's good fresh oil. I only put it in last year and I did about 5 miles on it. So here's what you're gonna see. This is quite familiar to a lot of bikes. Won't look exactly like this, but a bunch of screws, and behind each one of them is a spring. We can see the plates that we're going to replace here, but let's get these bolts out. It has got a sprag clutch, who knew? And interestingly, I didn't know this, that these are the pickups. So this is where your ignition comes from, and I thought they were on here, but they're not. They're on the sprag clutch. Learn something new every day. Right, we're going to take these out. We're going to pull this off. We get these springs out and the plates out, and I'll just lay them all here literally as they come off, so that I know they're going to go back in the same way. Now we've got a nice little bucket of engine oil there, which funnily enough we're going to need anyway, because we need to soak the new plates in oil before we use them. So I'm just going to dump them in there, take them out, put them in here, bolt everything back together, pour that oil back in the engine. So that's the plan. Interestingly enough, this didn't have a gasket on it. It's just got some sort of rubber sealant that it's been using, so I'm gonna have to get a razor blade round, cut all these off. Yeah. The other thing to watch when you're taking these out is these are different lengths. I just know where they all go, but this is one case where if you don't know where they all go, just get a piece of cardboard, lay it out like this in a circle, mark one so you know which one you're starting with. I usually start with this one anyway, and then they'll all go in, but don't try and force them in. If they're not going in, you've got the wrong bolt in the wrong hole. Simple as that. So I'm going to crack on and get this piece done. Okay, moving onwards. So I've just literally laid them out as they came out. That's the very back one, that's the very front one, and all I'm going to do is I'm just going to get some emery cloth and just very lightly just give these a little bit of a clean up. I'm just cleaning them, I'm not trying to grind them down, just clean them a little bit. There's the odd one, like this one's got a bit of a shine on it, the emery cloth will just knock that shine off as well. They're not too bad. These look pretty good. You can still see all the little dimples, not worn down too far. Yeah, these are worn, but they're more, to be honest, it's more this, it's all like a burnt on effect on here. They're shiny. These were doing the same as same problem I've got on the V45 Magna. At high revs it just bypasses the clutch and slips and away it goes. You can usually tell this because it's not that your clutch is slipping as such, it's that you start to feel that the bite point on the clutch is right towards the end of your fingers. It's right at the end of the, you know, so literally as soon as you move, you're pulling the clutch. And it's just an indication that these things are worn. So I've never done the clutch on this one, so, you know, about time I did it. I've got the new plates soaking in that oil there. Just give them a good soaking before you put them in, and then it's just a reverse assembly. Whatever you do, don't be pulling the clutch when you've got it like this. Just leave it alone. Don't pull the clutch lever. And that's it. There's nothing else to it, to be honest. As I said, give these a little bit of a rough up, and it is just a bit of a rough up. You're not trying to sand them down, and then just reassemble it. So let's crack on and update again when I've got that lot in. We'll have a look at those springs. Right then, so we're to that point. This is just loose in at the moment, just shoved them all back together. I mean, how easy is this? So far it's taken me 20 minutes, and it's already almost back together. I mean, literally all I've got to do is put the springs and the bolts back in, torque them down, put the front cover back on, reassemble those bits. Another 10 minutes. So I did get myself some nice genuine Honda springs. I just want to compare those against the ones we've got. Yep. So basically just new springs. So we'll get those installed in there, get these bolts on, and then we'll get the cover on. I need to just clean this. It's quite clean already, actually. I don't see much of that. I might just leave it. Maybe just run that emery cloth around it. Yeah, that'll do. I'll just get the loose bits off. Watch yourselves on here, by the way, because these tend to be really sharp. Yeah, I think that'll do. We'll have another look round here, because I think the worst of it, yeah, the worst of it's on here, look. So we'll clean this up, because that's where it's all stuck, before we put that back on with a new gasket. So, update again when we're done. And there we go, all back together. Nice new gasket on, new clutch in. Took just under an hour. And bearing in mind I've been stopping to film as well, so, you know, half hour, 45 minutes. This is not a big job. Any of you can do this. The only things to be careful of, make sure you clean that gasket service, otherwise you're going to get an oil leak. More importantly, the bolts that go through the springs go into aluminium posts on the clutch basket, and if you tighten them up too much, guess what, they snap off, and there's no torque settings for them. So tight, but don't snap them. I can't say any more than that, because Honda never did. So that's it, all back together. I'm just charging it up because it's been sat for 6 months, but I'm expecting it will start up. Now, if I remember rightly, where we left this one, we got a fuel leak right in here, and I've got the part for that. Piece of plastic tubing about that big, cost £40. Ridiculous. But the carbs have got to come out to do that, so we've got the carbs to do again on this one. We only had them off last year. They're actually in pretty good order, actually. I'm a bit annoyed to be taking them apart because they're balanced, so I'll have to rebalance them, but we've got to fix that fuel leak. I tried to start it just now, and apart from the battery being a bit flat, it was peeing petrol out like it was last year. So next job for this one will be the carbs, but for now, clutch is done. I haven't even pulled the clutch lever since I did it. New springs should feel different. Oh yeah. But we won't know till we run it. And like everything else, needs cleaning. It's been sat for a winter, so aluminium oxide all needs cleaning off. You've got to keep on top of this stuff, guys. That's it. V45 Magna, 1986 this one, VF750C. 1986 also means you will not see an oil mod on this one, because it doesn't need them, because 1986 they were line bored. So that's why this engine sounds so good. So we'll finish that off another day, get them carbs off, fix that leaking, it's actually broken, fix that broken pipe, stop the fuel leak once and for all, and yeah, we'll go and put some miles on it. So for now, that's it. Thanks for watching.